This is your boy, the Supreme Poobah.
And this is the Enchantress Divine, Ruby Craft.
And you are now listening to the Dub Tape Podcast. Dub Tape Podcast. This is your host, Supreme Poobah Supreme, and I am accompanied by the lovely
Enchantress Divine, Ruby Craft.
And we were just having a conversation about how she had a conversation with someone about how homosexuality is going to lead the black
community into extinction.
And it's kind of crazy because we were just kind of talking about it. And I was like, I remember hearing before homosexuality was like this huge, big thing that's going on now openly and freely. Back in the day when it was kind of like tucked away and was like super taboo, if you will. Pardon me. The stories that came about if you were homosexual or any way, shape, form, or fashion of the culture, way of life, more like a way of life.
It's not necessarily a way of life because when you think about it, you know, essentially you're born that way. You're born attracted to men, or you're born attracted to women, or you're born attracted to both. You always knew that you liked women, yes?
I mean, well, yeah.
Okay, so that was innate in you. Me, it was always innate in me that I liked both. Like I knew I liked both since I was like 6 years old. So it's not necessarily a lifestyle. It's just
some people would say you don't know what you like. Everything is learned.
I mean, yeah, nature, but that's the argument of nature nurture. Everything is nature nurture. Mm-hmm. So, but some things are just innate in you, which is why it's called sexual orientation, not necessarily a lifestyle or a culture or whatever the case is.
Well, sexual orientation is just another word for preference, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say it's just another form of saying preference.
Right. So it's like, it's just what you prefer.
But at the same time, you know, if gay people could walk through life and not have to experience the things that they experience, if they could choose to have an easier life, you know, they can't help who they're attracted to. You get what I'm saying? You can't help who you're attracted to. Let's say if the roles were reversed, right? Let's say you were constantly criticized and discriminated against because you like the opposite sex.
Oh, I was about to say because I'm black, because yeah, that happens. But go ahead. No, I'm listening.
No, but you know, let's look at it reverse. Like you're like, I can't help that I like women. You know what I mean? But now you're being ostracized because of something that you can't help.
Who is doing the ostracize? I mean, because I can only speak for myself. You know, I think you told me a story one time where it was like, it was a terrible example of reading the room because it was like 2003 or 4 or some shit like that. And, you know, you had a friend that was being hawked by some guy in a club that she didn't want to talk to.
Right.
And it was like, you decided, well, I don't know if you guys set it up or she threw it at you.
So, no. So what happened was, I was at a club. The girl, some guy that she didn't want grinding on her was grinding on her. Mm-hmm. And she was like, can you just dance with me to get him off of me? So I was just like, all right, cool, no big deal or whatever. But she was in fact bi. It wasn't like, oh, let's just play pretend. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, now honestly, that was back in the day because she ain't know me from a can of paint. I ain't know her from a can of paint.
Right.
And basically the only way to really get this guy off of her was to dance with her, and then eventually she just made out with me. So you know, and then of course everybody's like in awe, but that wasn't an ostracizing. That was just like, oh my God. Now the ostracizing.
Well,
really...
no. That's a form of ostracizing. But what I will say is that's not how you told me the story. It's not how you told me that you're like, what are you people looking at us? Some crazy.
Oh yeah,
like
because we reconvened to making out later. And everybody was like standing around us staring at us.
Right. As if that was a normal thing to do in 2003. Like you gotta give a little bit of credit. Like movies is one thing. You see the shit in real life, you're gonna look like, oh wow, okay. Questions are gonna come. Don't think questions aren't gonna come.
Right, but, absolutely.
You know, we're in a society now where you know, that is just, to me, it's the norm. You know,
yeah, now
two women making out, two guys making out. I want you to hear the tone change there, you know. But nah, it's like that's like the norm now. So when you say like, you know, to be ostracized about your preference, maybe in the Deep South they do that. You know.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But it's not just the Deep South. It's, you know, it depends on the walk of life, because, you know, the people who are inherently, you know, who are like super religious, the Bible thumpers, you know, they definitely feel that way. In fact, there was just a court case where some lady said, I shouldn't have to serve gay people. If I think you're gay, I shouldn't have to serve you. And it went all the way up to the Supreme Court, only to find out like there was no real circumstance with it. It was all like a make-believe situation that never happened. Got all the way to the Supreme Court.
This is, you know, and this kind of ties into what we're getting ready to talk about, this whole like Mandela effect shit, because it was a made up story makes it all the way to the fucking Supreme Court.
Right.
All the way to the top. The top. You know what I mean? And it's just like, how do you put that much time and energy? The person who made this shit up is like, nah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, I don't really care. I'm just going to make this shit up. Right.
But and just in order for them to have a ruling saying, okay, you're within your right that you don't have to serve a gay couple that comes into your establishment.
And that kind of went over my head anyway, but nonetheless, let's jump into topics here. And I thought it would be really, really cool to kind of touch on this Mandela effect thing. So I pulled up an article from Good Housekeeping, and they got 53 examples of the Mandela effect that will question everything. Some of these shits I'm not going to get. I'm going to tell you that right now. Some of this shit I haven't even heard of. Mm-hmm. But let's start with number one. And let's just get straight to the shit, shall we? Nelson Mandela's death.
Yeah. I remember for a long time thinking that he was dead. So when they actually announced that he died, I was just like, wait, what?
Because I do remember the story. He's supposed to have died in like captivity, or like, you know, not so much captivity, but he was like arrested during the whole apartheid thing or something like that.
Right.
And he had supposed to have died in jail in the 80s. So I do remember kind of having like the screw face, like, because 2013 is when he died, right?
Right.
So I was like, I thought he was already dead.
Right. A lot of us felt that way.
You know, so I was just kind of like, okay, well, I was kind of like, whatever. I ain't gonna lie. It's kind of like, whatever.
Yeah.
You know? So here's one. Jif, not Jiffy.
I don't remember it ever being Jiffy.
I feel like I do. And I feel like they cut it short for the times, or with shit like that. I feel like, you know, the kid inherited the company. I hate the word Jiffy. Let's just call it Jif.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
now we're struggling to determine.
To figure, somebody somewhere in this world has a jar that says Jiffy. Because I kind of remember it saying Jiffy.
I don't remember it ever saying Jiffy. I really don't.
I kind of do. But then again, we were kids. It's like, this affects us because we were kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So who the fuck cares what the peanut butter jar said? I want to make a peanut butter and jelly. That shit could have been Peter Pan. Yep. It could have been Skippy. It could have been that big silver can with just the peanut on it from the government.
Oh, gosh.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Right.
Jiffy. You know, the only time I saw a difference if it was like crunchy or smooth. That's it.
Yep.
It's the only thing that made the difference.
Yep.
Moving on. So this one, I'm definitely kind of like, well, wait a fucking minute. Looney Tunes and not Tunes. And when I say Tunes, they're saying that it was Looney Tunes, like a song. I do remember it saying Merry Medleys.
Right.
But they're saying it was always Looney Tunes, Tunes, and not Tunes, like cartoon.
No, I always remember it being TOONX. Because even after that, we had Tiny Toons.
And that was TOONS.
And that was TOONS.
So...
because they had to make it make sense.
We are fucking mythbusters because Tiny Toons was indeed Tiny Toons, which was the little brothers and sisters to Looney Tunes.
Right.
So you fucked up on that one, Leroy. The Berenstein Bears didn't exist. Oh, I'm sorry. Berenstein Bears. They're saying that...
No, it was definitely Berenstein Bears. BERENSTEIN. That's how I remember it. Because I read the books all the time. That was like my favorite book as a little kid.
Literally some of my least favorite books I read as a kid. And I didn't... Listen, as a kid... The name was too long anyway. I was praying for my parents or the teachers to say it, and I think they just said Bernstein. Like Bernstein. I think that's the Berenstein Bears.
Right.
Berenstein. Who gives like they didn't even play on the fact that they were bears. It was like the Berenstein. Like
right.
It's BERENSTEIN Bears, or it's BERERSTAI. Like who gives a fuck? Like,
right.
Like who cares? I didn't even. You can't tell me not one adventure from the motherfuckers.
They had a whole TV show. It was a book and a TV show.
You can't tell me one adventure from the Berenstein Bears. I'll wait.
I don't want to go into it.
I'll wait. I'll wait.
I don't want to go into it. But it was a cute show. It kept my attention. The disrespect. Anyway, nope. Next. Curious George Tale.
Something else I really don't know. No, because I remember some of the books. He would come down from the trees hanging from his tail and he'll take the man hat.
Right.
So how else would he do that?
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Like, why would they take a monkey's tail away anyway? Like, why would they do that? He's a monkey.
Right.
Why would you say he doesn't have a tail? That would not make him a monkey. What kind of monkey? Chimps don't have tails, right? Something like that?
No, chimps don't have tails.
So was he a chimp or was he...
I always thought he was just a regular monkey.
Now those books we read like in school and stuff like that. I remember they had I don't know if you ever had the little... the
golden books.
The golden books. And then like in music class or whatever class that was, we'd all sit there and they put the little record on and they play the song and it's like the Curious George theme song and all of that. And it's like, I remember that shit. Like, it was kind of like a hypnotizing kind of effect because mad kids would fall asleep on it.
Oh, so it was nap time.
It was nap time, but it was music class. And I was the only asshole who would sit up and just be, I want to hear the story. Oh. Like, I don't want to.
I don't remember doing any of that.
Yeah.
I remember we knew it was nap time.
Little monkey. He was a monkey. He said it in the theme song. It was a record. They probably burned all the records by now. Who knows?
Probably. No, man. Our nap time was reading Rainbow, Mr. Rogers, and then by the time Bob Ross came on, we all went to sleep.
In school?
Yeah.
Y'all got a chance to watch Bob Ross in school?
We were asleep by then. Like if we had a free day, every once in a while we have a free day.
I used to watch Bob Ross like after school. Like you come in after school and watch Bob Ross. Like that was
that after school? Well, maybe my timing was wrong.
He came. I mean, it was PBS. Who knows when shit came on?
Right,
like,
right.
I just remember I get to my grandparents' house. My grandfather was cooking. he had put on Yan Can Cook because he was trying to watch whatever he was cooking and making it in the kitchen. So he's like running back and forth. And then when he thought he had a handle on it, he'll stop it. Or actually, it'll go off. And then we'd watch Bob Ross. Or I would finish watching Bob Ross until it was, he was finished cooking.
Right.
It was time to eat because it was like 2 episodes back to back. And it was just like, yo, the theme song is so calming. Like, just put Bob Ross in a calming jar. You know what I'm saying? He ain't even got to talk. He ain't even got to talk. He just got to just tap the canvas. That's all he got to do.
Now, my kid is actually obsessed with Bob Ross because they have the same birthday.
Really?
Yes.
There's a whole thing on Bob Ross where he's like, like on his deathbed, like whoever was running his stuff was trying to get him to sign some kind of deal.
Really?
And his kids was like, nah, like this is a personal time for us. Like, leave us the fuck alone. And it was like, well, he already accepted the money before he got sick, so we kind of could do whatever we want. That's why when you was going to like Spencer's and stuff like that, like Bob Ross titanium white paint was back there. They had a Bob Ross soft drinks and bears and all of that stuff. It was, I think they won, not the family.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now, I heard that he was, I want to say he was like in the military, like he was a drill sergeant or whatever. So I don't
think he was a drill sergeant, but he was like a Marine or something like that.
Yeah. So I'm like, bro, you went from hardcore to like...
But you know what? You never know. He's probably
serenity.
He probably didn't kill anything. He's probably just like, yeah, I'm out here and all, but because a lot of people go to the military just for the check.
That's true.
It's just like,
that's true.
You don't have to do a whole. I mean, I'm pretty sure you do have to do a whole lot, but our minds in like military and physical training probably indefinitely, but going on tours and getting half your head blown off, I don't think you have to do that. Like there are ways around that. But anyway, moving on. Another one that I kind of don't care for, but it is interesting because this is a little bit of our time.
Right.
Sex and the City.
Right.
I always thought it was Sex in the City.
Yeah, same.
So you got me with that one.
Yep.
Did you ever watch that show?
No.
Yeah.
No. Voices above certain decibels annoy me. So.
That was Sarah Jessica Parker, right?
Yes.
Something like that. Okay. I can't name nobody else. Like she was just. I just see a bunch of rich bitches with nobodies getting money because they lived in Soho or whatever.
Right. And
they just had all these little adventures that other white people with money wish they were going on.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So this one, I'd never really paid it. This one just, the purpose is more important than the name, Febreze.
Right.
Like I'm looking at it and it's like, it has like one E or something. Yeah. One of them is Febreeze and the other one is like Febreze. And I'm like, it's one of those things I just don't. You recognize the lettering, you recognize the bottle, you know what it does. That's it.
Right. I always thought it was 2 E's though.
Because we have common sense, and you spell breeze with 2 E's.
Right.
Like,
Correct. Correct.
So yeah, that's something. Oscar Mayer.
Now. Do you remember the song?
My baloney has a first name is Oscar. My baloney has a second name is
Meyer.
No. Was it May? I thought it was. I thought they said the first name twice.
No.
Well, maybe that was just an episode of The Simpsons. I don't know.
That was an episode of The Simpsons.
Okay.
But my baloney has a second name. It's Meyer. Meyer, not May.
Mayor, like mayor.
Fuck that shit.
I didn't, and I never. But these are slight. That's a 1-letter change,
right?
Like, who is paying attention? Again, marketing, like advertising. It's like, look,
they do this shit on purpose
just so we can have conversations like this. Well,
no, just so they could send us to therapy.
Not me, because I don't eat that shit no way. I only know Oscar Mayer bologna. Pause. I actually like Wunderbar bologna. That's like the best bologna you could get from ShopRite. It's the cheapest.
I don't like bologna at all.
Well,
so
I'm skipping this one because I don't even care about these shits. Maybe I should because
Skechers.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about that.
I always thought there was a T in it. It just made sense for the T to be there. It's just telling me all this shit that
Fruit Loops. I kind of don't remember the OOT one.
No, it's OOT now.
I got a bag of Fruit Loops in the cabinet when I get home. I'm gonna look at it.
All right, you take a picture. You take a picture and then you put it up.
Yes, I will.
On our Facebook.
I'll put it up on all social media platforms.
Okay.
Because I'm really sitting here thinking, like, I just bought a big ass bag of that shit too. So, but I don't know if it has the 2 O's or if it's spelled like regular fruit. So we'll find out.
Okay.
We'll find out. I don't even know what the fuck this is about. King Henry VIII's turkey leg?
Yeah.
You know something about that? Skip. Now.
Yes, the Monopoly man always had a monocle.
He always had a monocle.
You
know, maybe in the years to come, since
and
he didn't die.
Him and Mr. Peanut, they both had monocles.
Mr. Planters.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes.
Now, don't get me wrong. He didn't die, so he has money, and maybe he just said, you know what, let's do this LASIK thing. And he didn't need a monocle anymore. Like, that's the best thing.
That's the storyline.
That's the best thing. He had a for years. He had a monocle.
Yes,
for years this guy had a monocle. Now all of a sudden he's running around here living his best life. Still, guess what? Didn't change that fucking money bag.
Sure didn't.
I ain't gonna lie though, because I didn't play Monopoly much as a kid. I always saw it.
Listen,
but I like
be thankful, because I've seen situations draw blood over Monopoly. Nah, like
I heard it's like the game that never ends though.
It is. It's the game that never ends, and then until somebody gets mad and flips over all the shit and walks out. That's how every game of Monopoly. You're not playing Monopoly right if somebody doesn't flip the shit over.
The first time
and walks away.
Let me tell you something. The first time I played Monopoly, we had debit cards, so. That's that.
Oh, you're hella late.
Yes. No. Yes, I didn't.
No, you got to do it the regular way.
Never.
Like, we actually did it as a family, and my brother would be like, he'd be rubbing his hands like the sneaky businessman and shit.
Rubbing his hands like baby.
Word.
So these other ones, I'm looking. It's like I don't, Pikachu's tail. Never noticed, and they change, don't they? Like
Well, no, Pikachu always had the black tip on his tail.
I mean, I just don't.
You know what? I caught that, and no one is talking to you right now. Kit Kat, the hyphen.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
now the hyphen never existed. I don't care. I've never seen a hyphen in a Kit Kat.
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
Never. So. Fruit of the Loom. Everybody remembers the cornucopia.
Yes.
Everybody remembers the cornucopia being behind the fruit.
Yep. And the fruit was spilling out of it.
Like, don't say it never existed. Just say you updated the image.
Right.
All of these things. Just say you updated the image. Nothing's gonna happen. It's cool. Like, it's cool.
Right. Just say you wanted to change it for marketing purposes.
Now there's Cheez-Its and Cheez-It. I got a box of that too. And I don't think the Z was ever there. Except like
the Z was there.
No. I'm talking about like at the end of like it. I don't think the Z was ever there. I got a box.
What you talking about, Willis?
I think it was always Cheez-It.
No.
And black people made it Cheez-Its.
No. You know what?
Like, I think we just made it Cheez-Its.
That's acceptable.
It sounded cool, right? It sounded cool. It was easier to say. Like, how do you Cheez-It?
Well, the other thing is
give me a handful of Cheez-It.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. Who eats one Cheez-It?
Even if you're gonna grab like at least a finger stack full or a whole hand and just be like, what are you eating? Cheez-Its.
Right.
You know what I mean? By the way, the white cheddar cheeses are the best. And there's nothing you can tell me about that.
I don't know.
White cheese.
It's not my go-to snack.
White cheese. Double stuffed Oreo. This is stupid because if anything,
it always had 2 F's. Fuck that.
Yeah, now they're just testing your fucking intelligence at this point. I'm not even gonna pay that. Mona Lisa's smile. Now, what is so special about she wasn't even smiling? She wasn't. I don't think she was ever smiling.
I have no idea. And I've been to the museum several times about
this one, but so many people have claimed that she used to have more of an obvious smile.
I doubt it. Next.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Okay, Star Wars. You ever seen Star Wars?
A long time ago. I'm the type of person, I watch a movie once and be like, okay, that's it.
Yeah, I've never seen it. So C3, what? C3PO?
Yeah, C3PO.
C3PO, that's his name, C3PO?
Yes, his name is C3PO.
Yeah, well,
Come on, man, do better.
Star Wars, the only people that matter.
I remember him being gold from head to toe. I don't remember him ever having a silver leg.
Yeah, I don't think this is
so. I'm like,
I don't think this is real.
Maybe at some point he lost.
Okay, wait a minute. We got some bullshit. There's some bullshit afoot.
What are you talking about? Did you scroll ahead?
The Flintstones has 2 T's.
Bullshit.
Hold up. So you remember them being the Flintstones or the Flintstones?
Flintstones.
With a T, right?
No.
Spell it the way you know it.
Without the T, without the second T, it was FLINSTONES.
I remember being a Flintstones because a flint is a type of stone. So it's like
I don't care.
No. There was no
second T.
The world cares. You know what? No. Flintstones. That's how it was. And I watched the Flintstones. You know what? I'm gonna take a picture when it comes on. And I think it comes on.
All right, good
one
luck.
Of them channels. No, it comes on.
Good luck. You know what? What's a good way to find out? Let me see.
Not Google, because apparently they're brainwashing everybody.
No. Remember the Flintstones movie? There was no T there.
Which one? The one the Wu-Tang did the soundtrack for?
Did they do the soundtrack for that?
Gravel Pit. And they were actually like Flintstone, I'll be Bobby Boulders. And, Lou Diamonds and all of that crazy
The one
stuff.
with Halle Berry in it.
That's definitely the one with the Wu-Tang doing the soundtrack. I thought you were talking about the old one with like John Goodman and all of that.
That is John Goodman in that one. John Goodman.
It was like 93 or 94 or something like that?
Yes, John Goodman and Halle Berry was in there.
Huh. I saw it in the movies.
Come on, man down. And by the way, 94.
94, right?
94. Yeah. You know what?
I saw it at Cityplex.
All right. I guess you're right.
Thank you.
You're so aggravating. You're never going to get another one of those.
So what did you find, though? What does it say?
Nothing. Next, Cinderella.
You know what it said? It said
Cinderella's castle.
Said, never tested Supreme Pooba's knowledge when it comes to movies. That's what it says. So
I'm done.
So, now this is one where I'm just going to have to sit on the fence with it. Cinderella, what's so special about it? Wait a minute. Wasn't that bitch broke?
Well, she married the prince, though.
I thought Cinderella was the slipper, right?
Yes, was the one with the glass slipper. I can't with you right now.
Hold on, wait a minute. So she was broke. She was a broke chick, because I don't want to say bitch again.
Jesus.
She was a broke chick who had ugly sisters that was styling on her all the time. And she goes out. I dig this. The prince on his Bachelor, was it Supreme Bachelor or Ultimate Bachelor, goes out like, yo,
I can't.
Any one of you hoes that can fit this glass slipper, y'all about to be my wife. All right. So the whole big party, the chicks is coming through, bunions and the whole 9, shaved down. She fits the slipper, but she got to be back before what, midnight?
Yeah.
How the fuck the slipper fall off? She fit it.
Listen, we're not here to dissect Cinderella's story. We're here to dissect the Mandela effect.
You can't tell me why the slipper fell off. It was a perfect fit. Childhood ruined.
Listen. No, the childhood ruined is the original story was the stepsisters. One stepsister cut off her toe to fit her foot in there, and one stepsister chopped off her heel to put her foot in.
So they walked in there,
and
bloody ass feet.
And also, it wasn't the original story. Wasn't a glass slipper, because it was lost in translation. I want to say it was like a velvet slipper or something. So, because it was, it was a lot lost in translation too. English wasn't the original language that it was in. So they were talking about the castle. So I guess some people believe that, let's see, contrary to popular belief, there's only one Cinderella castle, and that's in Florida. And then the blue and pink castle is in Disneyland. Disneyland, and that's Sleeping Beauties. Okay, so they're saying that there's 2 Cinderella's castles, one in Disney World and one in Disneyland. But the reality is Cinderella's castle is in Disney World and Sleeping Beauty's castle is in Disneyland. I don't know. I've never been to Disneyland. I've never been on the West Coast, but hopefully that'll change one day.
I can't wait till I get all my little sound bites in order, because who gives a fuck?
Jesus. Ed McMahon, Publishers Clearinghouse. Yes, I remember.
I want to say, I remember him doing commercials or hearing his voice as the thing, but what are they saying? He never did any of that. He was just the face on the envelope, right? I think that's what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
Like he was just the face of...
Yeah, that's what they're trying to say. No, I remember him being in the commercial, knocking on people's doors with the big ass check.
Now, I remember he stopped doing it after a while, but even some of those, the big ass check, they'll come out, I am Ed McMahon, and this is the public. Like, they can't... You know how many times I faked sick and I had to stay at my grandparents' house drinking orange juice and eating them nasty ass candies and watching daytime TV as many times as them shits would come on? I knew who Ed McMahon was by heart. I don't even know what he did prior with Johnny Carson, right?
I have no idea. Your guess is better than mine.
That's it. I know him from doing publishing or Publishers Clearinghouse commercials. That's it. Where the fuck he get all that money from anyway? Like,
hell if I know. So
many things, but we kind of running short on time, but I will, because this is one that, I mean, there's so many more. There's so many more. This is a big one, though. This is a big one. I think you know where I'm going with this, too. I'm going to say one word, and you're going to be like, yep. Are you ready?
Okay.
Sinbad. You know it was coming. Sinbad never played a genie.
Yes, he did.
Yo, we need...
Yes, he did.
He said something about
that was
this
one
too.
of my... Right. And
he said something about this.
Bruh. I'm like, nah, man. That was one of my favorite movies. I used to watch it all the time.
Bro, it was literally one of the... I think that's why it's such a big subject, because people our age, these are one of those movies that used to come on regular TV on a Saturday, or it was always in the previews for whatever tape you was getting as a kiddie movie.
Right.
So there was no way possible you could tell me why would they do all of that shit and not drop the movie? But we all seen the movie. Right.
We've all seen Shazam.
But then it's not Shazam.
It was Shazam.
Oh, yes, it was Shazam. I'm thinking of, because Shaq did Kazam.
Yeah, Shaq did Kazam. But Sinbad did Shazam.
Right.
And that was around the time we had all those superhero movies. Because remember, we had Meteor Man around that time too.
Meteor Man, Blank Man.
Blank Man, yup.
Meteor Man. Nah, that was just something that used to come on. I don't even know if he was a superhero. For some reason, all black people know this movie, and I know you know it because this is like so PG-13. Leonard Six.
No.
Shame on you.
I know, it's terrible.
But you know what? It's probably a lot of people. Let me tell you something. When it comes to Bill Cosby movies, and I said we run it short on time, but I just got to get this off my chest. When it comes to Bill Cosby movies, let me tell you something. The only thing, movies, not TV shows, but movies, the only ones that matter are Uptown Saturday Night, Let's Do It Again, and Ghost Dad. Those are the only 3 Bill Cosby movies that matter.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to wrap it up, and we're going to actually come back to this because there's a whole shit ton of stuff on this list that I'm looking at like, no, it was this. No, it was that. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a few more that my lovely co-host is going to point out that, you know, some of you guys that care about, some of you guys will not. Not taking shots. I'm not taking shots.
Are you not?
I'm not because...
Are you sure?
The only reason I'm not is because the Cinderella thing, I don't care about.
Right.
But there's a shit ton of people who absolutely adore Disney. And that story that you just told, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who didn't hear about that.
What, about Cinderella?
Yeah, and the velvet slipper. And
Oh yeah, but I mean, the thing is, like, diehard fans of such things, like, you know, they might want to get into the origin story. Those were Brothers Grimm stories originally.
Brothers Grimm, right? Now that I heard about.
Right.
They had to split it because, you know, Walt Disney came in there like Vince McMahon, like, give me all your best stories.
Right. And then they
clean
turned it
them up.
around. Right. That's exactly what he did.
So, no, I get it, though. I get it. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, that's our time for today. She is
The Enchantress Divine Ruby Craft.
and I am the Supreme Poobah, and you've been listening to the Dub Tape Podcast. If you got any questions, comments, whatever, peep us out on social media. Hit us up in our Gmail, which is dubtapepodcast@gmail.com. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.